Hey, what's up? And welcome to my first ever rebuild on Madden 25. Now, you might be saying, hey, Madden 25 looks a little bit different. And you would be right. See, this isn't your normal Madden 25. We are in 1994 with real schedules, real coaches, real playbooks, real schemes, and most and best of all, we got real rosters with real face scans and real ratings all around the league. And we'll be using the Buffalo Bills, who famously didn't win a Super Bowl, and we're going to try to win them a Super Bowl. But first, we're going to go around the league and show you a little bit of everyone's ratings and their face scans in the game. I'm going to show you my top 4 players. Thurman Thomas has his face scan. Jim Kelly, 34, so aging. We're not going to have him forever. We're going to have to draft another quarterback eventually. But let's look at some of the top players around the league. You have Barry Sanders on the Lions. Can he win a Super Bowl maybe? Does he retire early still? Who knows? Darren Woodson on the Cowboys. The Cowboys have their big 3 of Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin. The Showtime Cowboys, I believe that they were called. That was Junior Seau that I just showed you. Emmitt Smith here. I mean, these players are crazy. Some players, might not have their face scans because they were never scanned into Madden. Deion Sanders, who like yesterday or whatever, came out and said that he got his cancer treated, which is good for him. Nice that he's in good health. But 99 speed, 99 man, 99 excel, 99 agility, 99 press. Like, he's just a cheat code. He has 99 everything. Derek Thomas on the Chiefs. Another just crack player. 99 excel, 90 speed, 90 tackle, 87 hits power, 99 pursuit, 98 for minute. Like, man. Some of these players are just so good. You got Jerry Rice back in his prime. 31, still in his prime though. On the 49ers. Dan Marino on the Dolphins. Does he win a Super Bowl? Cement his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. If he wins a Super Bowl, like, that could put him top 3. Maybe some people have him over Montana, just having that one Super Bowl because of his other accolades and achievements. That was John Elway that I just showed you. Unk. We got Unk. But yeah, man, I'm super excited to dive into this rebuild. I've been waiting for the newest update to come out that gave us all the draft classes up to 2010 with the fixed face scans. And there's just so much opportunity for rebuilds here. So if you guys have any suggestions that you want to give me, just leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to, whatever team I see the most or whatever, I'll do that team. I just want to do as much of these rebuilds as I can before Madden 26 comes out, because I like this mod. And yeah, so let's just get right into this rebuild now that I've shown you some of the players around the league. I don't think I'm going to make any trades right now, so I'll see you guys at the midseason. So at the midseason, we are 6-1, just losing 38-28 to the Colts. We have the worst defense in the league when it comes to passing yards, and we are 26 in points per game. So even though we are 6-1, I'm looking to make some trades here at the mid-season. Let's look at the stats first. Jim Kelly leading the league in passing yards. Andre Reed leading the league in reception and yards, and I think touchdowns, which is big. 33 touchdowns at the midseason and 2,451 yards is crazy. He's on pace to break some records. And I think even the records are updated here. We even have updated records for I think everything, except for not even the rookie ones are updated now. So that. But Jim Kelly leading the league in every single stat. He is going crazy. Definitely should be the MVP frontrunner right now. But we cannot check that as of right now. So let's look at the roster now. Let's see who we might want to trade. I'm thinking Kent Hull, 33 years old, my starting center. He's only 83 overall. He's 33. He's just gonna regress. And I have other linemen, even though one of them is injured right now. I have other linemen that I can put there at center. Center's pretty replaceable. And I definitely want Bruce Smith. I want him playing on the outside, I think. Because I think, yeah, Daryl Talley is 33 years old. So I'm going to be looking to trade Daryl Talley and Kent Hull. So I'll come back to you guys when I have trades for them. I'm getting a 3rd round pick off the Raiders here. I'm going to try to be realistic with the trades, or at least as like realistic as what I think is realistic. So maybe I should have traded him for like a 4th round pick since he is 33. But he's still a good overall, like 83. So I'm trading him for a 3rd round pick from the Raiders. They really needed a starting center, and they get one. And with my next trade, I'm trading Daryl Talley to the Browns for a 2nd round pick this year. Again, old, but he plays the edge rusher position, and I'm pretty sure they also run a 3-4. With that trade being done, I'm going to move Bruce Smith to that outside linebacker position. And I'm going to move Cornelius Bennett to right outside linebacker. And I think I'm going to move my starting right tackle to center. Yeah, 6'5", 305. You can't play guard. It's a little bit too light to play guard, but that's good to play center. 6'5" is a little tall for center, but it's what we're going to work with for right now. So this is what the team is looking like at the midseason, and I will see you guys again, hopefully, in the playoffs. Alright, so we kind of cooled off down the season. We were 6-1 at the midseason. We're on 11-5. If we look at our schedule, so we lose after the bye week 7-22 the Chiefs. That was a bad loss. Joe Montana absolutely shit on our defense. Then we won against the Jets. We lost a close game to the Steelers. We lost against the Packers. Then we won against the Lions, which is big. We blew out the Dolphins, which is big. We won a close game against the Vikings. We lost to the Patriots. And then we gotta get back against the Colts. So playing the Broncos here in the divisional, 9-7. We should win this game. We're gonna play the moments. I'm only gonna hop in once. So I'm gonna give myself throughout these playoff games one opportunity to hop in. And yeah, let's get right into it. So John Elway already threw a pick. We're driving down in the red zone, 7-zip already, 7-7. And now Jim Kelly throws a pick, and they got a field goal. I think we just turned it over again. We did. 17-7 Broncos. 4th down alert. We kicked the field goal. I think John Elway just threw another pick. And it's now 17-17. We have the ball. 2nd quarter at the end. We're driving down the field. Red zone alert. Set 24-17. Sorry. Okay, end of the 4th quarter. We still have the ball. Now we're in the red zone. Jim Kelly throws a pick. But 3rd down. Can we get the stop? We can't. Our defense is backed up in the red zone. They score 34-24, though. We come right back and get a score. Our defense is backed up yet again. 3rd down. They can't get the stop. And they get another score. Big end of game drive. We're going to hop in and see if we can get into field goal range and ice this game in the snow with Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills in 1994. We're going to hit our tight end over the middle. That's DPI. That's huge. We just got bailed out by EA right there. I'm going to reset the play, actually. I'm going to try not to hot route. I'm going to try not to cheese the CPU. I'm going to hit Andre Reed, who's wide open, and Jim Kelly just overthrows him by 6 million years. I don't know who he was throwing that ball to. I really want to get it to Andre Reed, though. It's probably like my best receiver. But Jim Kelly just is throwing inaccurate balls. It does not matter. He's 4 for 3. Jesus Christ, I did not see that go right now. Jim Kelly is actively trying to lose us this game. But we should win, barring anything happening. With Thurman Thomas on this carry, which does not happen. Let's call timeout. And we get in for the touchdown and win the game. Thurman Thomas gets in for the score. 50 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Hopefully, our defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed this whole game somehow. Thank God they ran out of time because they were driving down the field. John Elway loses in a high-scoring game in Buffalo in the snow. We were just passing it, done slaying it. We come out with the win, even though Jim Kelly threw 3 picks. This guy needs to learn how to play in the snow if he's gonna play in Buffalo. 77% completion though, so like, I mean, other than the 3 picks, like this guy had a good game. And inaccurate balls. 806 yards and 3 touchdowns for Andre Reed. No sacks. And 1 pick for Mickey Washington. As we advance on to the AFC Championship. Okay, so in the AFC Championship, we are playing the Patriots, who we lost to in the regular season, but who are not good. All they have is a rookie, Drew Bledsoe, and that's pretty much it. I mean, Ben Coates is good, and Willie McGinnis is good, but Ben Coates is more of a pass blocker. He's not really that fast. So let's hope that we can win this game and advance to the Super Bowl in the first season. And turn this team into a dynasty. And rewrite history as we are driving down the field. At the end of the first quarter, it is 3-0 Buffalo. We are driving down the field in the 2nd quarter now, and we get a touchdown. Drew Bledsoe throws a pick to my defense, who is now in the red zone. They're trying to drive down and get a touchdown. They can't get a touchdown. Kicks the field goal. 13-0 Buffalo. Now driving down the field to end the 2nd quarter, and we do get the touchdown. 20-0 to start the 3rd quarter. We get the ball, and we're driving down the field back in the red zone. 27-0. The Patriots can't score again, turning the ball over, And we're driving down the field yet again, 34-0 Buffalo. They can't score. We're blowing them out, 41-0. They finally score 3 points, 41-10 now, and the game is over. We blow out the Patriots in the AFC Championship to go and advance to the Super Bowl and try to win a Super Bowl in the first year of this rebuild and turn the Buffalo Bills into a dynasty. So, in your Super Bowl in 1994, well, technically it's 1995, but this is the 1994 season. It's the Bills and the Cowboys. I'll show you the season stats. Jim Kelly, first in passing yards, first in touchdowns. He should have won the MVP. Thurman Thomas has a good year considering we're not really running the ball like that. Andre Reed, 103 receptions, 1,378 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Don Beebe with almost 1,000 yards, 5 yards off of it, and 12 touchdowns. Bill Brooks, 982 yards and 6 touchdowns. And Pete Metzelaars with almost 700 yards and 12 touchdowns. And Thurman Thomas had 6 receiving touchdowns and 600 yards. Blocking, not a very good year for Corey Lucci, or I think that's how you pronounce it. John Fina, 6 sacks. John Bach, 4 sacks. Clint Parker, 3 sacks. And Corbin Cena, 3 sacks. Defense, 118 tackles for Marcus Patton, 3 TFLs and 2 interceptions. Mickey Washington leads the team's interceptions with 4. After him is Marcus Patton, and then Jeff Burris with 2, and Jerome Henderson with 1. Leading team in sacks is Cornelius Bennett, and then Bruce Smith with only 9 sacks on the season, 12 TFLs, 4 TFLs for Cornelius Bennett, 10 for Phil Hansen. And leading the team in TFLs is John Perello with 15. So, in the Super Bowl, we are trying to beat the Showtime Cowboys. Dynasty. A dynasty that's ongoing versus a team that's trying to become a dynasty. Who will win the Lombardi here in the first Super Bowl?
EA Sports welcomes you to
turn the ball over on down, 7-0 Cowboys. At the end of the first quarter, we're driving down the field, 7-7. Start of the second quarter, Dallas scores, 14-7 Cowboys. Dallas gets the ball back on a turnover, 21-7 Cowboys, 28-7 Cowboys. They're blowing us out. We're driving down the field now at the start of the third quarter. We need to score to keep it close. We do, 14-28 Cowboys. We get the ball back at the end of the third quarter, 4th down alert. We don't get the score. We're now driving down the field in the fourth quarter. This game's all but over, and it is 35-14. We lose to the Cowboys in our first year. The Cowboys win the Lombardi Trophy as they get another ring for their dynasty. Though I think this would be the first year that they won it. I think. Though, actually, I could be wrong, to be honest. I think I'm wrong. But yeah, Jim Kelly loses. Does not play a good game. 57% completion percentage. 1 touchdown for 3 picks. Yikes. 53 passer rating. Emmitt Smith shit all over the defense. Literally 19 carries, 152 yards. And 2 touchdowns. Michael Irvin, 96 yards. Kevin Williams, 102 yards, 2 sacks, or 1 sack from let up from John Fennell, 1 from Glenn Parker, from Lucy. Charles Haley had 1.5 sacks. Phil Hansen had 1. Leon Lett had 1. And Mary Brown had half a sack. 2 picks from Darren Woodson and 1 from Brock Marion, who looks an odd amount like the running back Brian Robinson. So, a disappointing end to the first season, but again, it was the first season, so hopefully we can get better and win the Super Bowl in our second season. I also didn't explain how the expansion teams will work. For those of you that know, in 1995, the NFL added 2 new teams to the league, which are the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. There is a tool that I run after the season is done, and that automatically puts these teams into the league, and the teams that aren't supposed to be in the draft get all their picks pushed to the end of the draft. They all have like 7th round picks, and they get a bunch of players that don't even exist, and they cut them, and we never end up playing those players or those teams anyways, because after every season, when I load into the next season, there's also a tool that you can run that gives you the actual schedule from that year, so you're never playing teams that aren't in the league, and you're not going to play 18 games when there's only 16 games in that season. So now that I explained all of that, and I got the gap out of the way, let me get through staff week and re-sign Bruce Smith, because I need to re-sign Bruce Smith. But before I re-sign Bruce Smith, let me go to the staff tree. I have the player personnel all upgraded, so yeah, I'm gonna need to get the discount, and I want to get my discount on my draft picks, because this will obviously make it easier for me to trade up in the draft and trade for players. Well, I said I'm not gonna cheese. Still, like, just let me play my game, okay? I'm not gonna cheese it, but yeah. Re-signing Bruce Smith. He's a 91 overall. He loses his X Factor dev. His thing is all green, so he should resign. I'm gonna offer him this deal right here. If he doesn't resign, I'm just gonna franchise tag him. But he resigns. 2-year deal. I'm gonna resign him again after the 2 years is up. He's gonna retire here. Let's get into free agency. Usually there's not anybody that good in free agency. We'll see if that rings true. And it does ring true yet again. Henry Ellard. I don't know if I'm gonna sign anybody here in free agency. I'll come back to you when, or if I do. If I don't, you'll see me in the draft. Okay, so there's only like 2 players that I'm even mildly interested in, and it's this dude Joe Sims, because I need a guard, and this dude Rod Stevens, because I kind of need a middle linebacker. It's not the end of the world if I don't get either of these players. I'm not really that interested in either, but they would be nice to have. Okay, I get both of them. After that whole spiel about how I don't need either of them. Anyways, yeah, like I said, they're nice to have. Good additions to the team. They fill out my roster. And with those 2 signings, that's all I really want to do in free agency. So this time, I'm for real. I'll see you guys in the draft. Okay, so we're in the draft, and I think I'm trading up, because Warren Sapp is in this draft class, and they're not saying he's going to pick 14. So if I can trade up with the Saints, but I don't know if I'm buying that. Sometimes I get hoed by these draft classes, or these mock drafts. Like, they lie to me. So I'm gonna try to trade up a little bit higher than 13, but I don't know if I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm just gonna trade up to 13 and hope I get Warren Sapp. Okay, so it is a first round and a second round pick this year, pick 27, pick 55, a fifth round pick next year in 1996, a pick in the sixth round this year, pick 167, and a pick in 1997, 2 years from now, in the seventh round, for pick 12 from the Raiders to hopefully move up and secure Warren Sapp as we wait for these teams to round out the top 5. Kajana Carter goes number 1, Kerry Collins goes number 2, Steve McNair number 3, Kevin Carter number 4. Who will the Houston Oilers take number 5? They take Joey Galloway, the speedster from Ohio State, I think. As Warren Sapp is still here on the board. I was between Ty Law and Warren Sapp. He falls to us at 12. We traded up for him. 21, 303 pounds, 6'2", out of Miami. Going to be the cornerstone of our defense for the rest of this rebuild. Hopefully, we take Warren Sapp. I picked 13. Sorry, not 12. The newest member of the Buffalo Bills, Warren Sapp. Ignore his neck popping out of his suit. Alright. Just ignore that. And look at the clean Buffalo Bills jersey. They should really just go back to that jersey design. It's so much better than the ones that they have now. If you disagree, you're wrong. Okay, now that we got this out of the way, I'm going to pause the draft because I'm not done making trades. I will come back to you guys when I have the next trade done. Okay, my next trade, random backup outside linebacker, was never going to play. 76 overall. My starting free safety, Matt Darby. He just has low zone coverage and low speed. And John Davis, the right guard, who I signed the tackle to replace because John Davis is on a 5-year stupid deal, and I'm trading them for Andre Rison, 87 overall receiver from the Falcons on the last year of his deal, 28, but he's going to be a great piece to put next to Andre Reed. We got 2 Andres next to each other now in our receivers, or in our receiver room, and I still don't think I'm done making trades. I'll come back to you guys either at my next pick or with my next trade. So my next trade, I'm trading with Don Beebe, Thomas Smith, and Frank Reich. My second round pick this year, and 2 later third round picks, 83 and 91, for John Lynch. Okay, and so for my next trade, I'm trading with Thurman Thomas for free safety from the Chiefs, second round pick, and a 4th round pick, pick 46, and I forget what number the 4th round pick is. But Thurman Thomas is 29 and only going to regress. Okay, my next trade, I'm trading with my starting left tackle because he has 1 left on his deal for 3 second round picks from the Cardinals. I'm now trading away that pick I got from the Cardinals to the Giants for Jason Sehorn. So with my first pick in the second round, I'm taking Scott Gregg. Ranked 37 in true value, 6'8", 315, out of Montana. So I'm going to trade this pick away to the 49ers, who are offering me a third round pick next year. I wish they were offering me a first round pick, because I don't know who to take right here. With my first pick in the third round, I'm going to take Ken Dilger. Even though I know he's not good, I just need the position. On my next pick, I'm taking Barrett Brooks. Like 77 in true value, hidden dev. Always good to have hidden dev linemen. So honestly, I didn't want to cheese it like this, but okay. So Terrell Davis fell to me, and I really need running back. I was gonna take Curtis Martin, but he went. I've taken Terrell Davis like in personal rebuilds, like I've used him before. I haven't played the 94 thing before, but like I've used Terrell Davis before in franchises. So I'm gonna take Carl Reeves, but if he falls to me again, I kind of feel obligated to take him. And Terrell Davis has fallen to me again. My second pick in the fourth round. So, I mean, I said I was going to do it. Top fits right there. I'm the number one top fit for him. I'm taking Terrell Davis here. Welcome to Buffalo, New York. 93 speed, 82 strength, 88 change of direction, 92 excel. And that will round out our 1995 draft class. So, I feel we did extremely well for ourselves in this draft, even though I wasn't able to get the backup quarterback that I wanted so that we could develop someone behind Jim Kelly just to have a plan B. I still think maybe I could trade for him. I mean, he's probably like 60 overall, but we'll see. But even with that being said, I think hit it out of the park, especially with Terrell Davis falling to us. I really didn't want to cheese it, but I mean, what else was there to do? I feel like it was just too obvious for us to take him at that pick. But so we get Warren Sapp, Scott Gregg, Ken Dilger, Barrett Brooks, Carl Reeves, and Terrell Davis. We'll look at the top players in the class. Derek Brooks is the number one player in the class, as expected. 88 speed, 92 excel, 78 hit power, 86 power moves, 86 pursuit, 79 strength, 85 tackle, 71 zone coverage. He is extremely good. Joey Galloway, 98 speed, 99 excel, 98 change of direction, 84 juke move. Ty Law, 93 speed, 80 man, 80 zone, 81 press. Also locked down on the Lions. That's a good pickup for them. And yeah, Warren Sapp is in the top 5, and then Tony Vaselli. So I feel like we had a really good draft, and I'll see you guys in the preseason. All right, as you can see, we are at the start of the 1995 season. Not the preseason, like I said. I know I lied, but anyways. I'm feeling confident about the team, where we stand this season. I like the roster. I think that we are Super Bowl contenders for sure. At least. I think. I don't know. I hope so. I'm going to put our rookies starting on the offensive line. You know Warren Sapp is going to be a beast. He's going to work great eating up the interior. Wow. Bruce Smith is coming off the edge. It's going to work great. John Lynch on the outside and Jason Sehorn. The exciting whites, like 30 years before before it even happened. I'll see you guys at the midseason. At the midseason, we are 3-3. Was my confidence misplaced? We'll see. I didn't mean to rhyme, but anyways, I'm gonna try to re-sign Andre Rison here. He resigns. Amazing. Phil Hansen. He resigns. Amazing. Marcus Patton. Getting older. Probably gonna refrain from re-signing him, because I feel like we can get a better linebacker through this draft. Maybe. But I'll see you guys hopefully at the playoffs if we make them. So we make the wild card. We go 10-6 in the regular season. Jim Kelly, 4,326 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. Terrell Davis, an okay rookie year for Madden, 4.2 yards per carry. We weren't really running the ball that much. That's decent. JT Thomas, undrafted rookie free agent, 1,088 yards. Andre Reed, 1,042 yards. I don't know how he got that many yards, honestly, because he wasn't in the slot. It was Andre Reed and Andre Rison that spent time in the slot. They split half the season in the slot. They both ended up with the same amount of receptions. Andre Reed had 1,042 yards, 12 touchdowns. Andre Rison had 882 and 7 touchdowns. Terrell Davis had 664 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Blocking, 5 sacks from Scott Gregg, 5 from Bear Brooks, and 3 from Corey Wushi and Glenn Parker, and Joe Sims, 1 from Mike Devlin. Kurt Scholes leads the team in tackles with 91. Cornelius Bennett leads the team in sacks with 9. Bruce Smith only has 6. Maybe I put him back at left end. TFL's 16 from Phil Hansen, 12 from Carl Reeves, 9 from Bruce Smith and Warren Sapp, who also had 6 sacks, 7 from Rod Stevens, and a handful more from the rest of the team. 3 picks from Jason Sehorn, Kurt Scholes, and John Lynch. Mickey Washington with 2, Phil Mill Johnson with 1. we had the 6th best offense in the NFL and the 14th defense yard-wise. MVP is Steve Young. Jim Kelly was 6th on the list. Coach of the year is Barry Switzer. We were nowhere on the list. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Anthony Miller. Terrell Davis is 6th on the list. Andre Reed is number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, Bernard Whittington. We have no Bills. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kerry Collins. Bengals, Terrell Davis is number 2. JT Thomas is number 3. That hurts. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Lee Flowers from the Jets. Warren Sapp is all the way down at number 5. Carl Reeves at number 7. Best quarterback, John Elway. Jim Kelly at 3. Marshall Falk. Best running back, Terrell Davis at 3, his rookie season. Best wide receiver, Anthony Miller. Andre Reed at 5. Best O-lineman, Will Shields. No Bills on the list. Best D-lineman, Neil Smith. Only Bill is Phil Hansen, all the way down at 9. Best linebacker, Derek Thomas. Cornelius Bennett, all the way down at number 7. Best DB, Jason Sehorn at number 10. Best kicker, Steve Christie. And best punter, best punter. That's not an award. So, we're in the wild card. I'm not going to jump into wild card games because they are wild card games. And not only that, the Bengals are 8-8. If we lose it is Madden. And we lose to the Bengals. One new injury. Andre Rison gets injured in the loss. And we are on to the off season. Alright, so after a disappointing loss to the Bengals, we are now in the off season. I'm actually just gonna I want to show you guys the recap. So Steve Young is your NFL MVP. I showed you the awards before, but the 49ers beat the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl, and Steve Young is also your Super Bowl MVP. I was thinking about it, and I still don't think I'm gonna re-sign Marcus Patton. He's 21 or 29, and we signed that linebacker last year, so I think we're due to draft one. But we also really need a corner, so hopefully there's a corner in free agency. So there wasn't really much in free agency. I just wanted to show you guys. Emmitt Smith is here. I guess I'll offer on him because it's Emmitt Smith, but I'm not gonna get him. He's gonna go to the Dolphins for sure. But I just wanted to show you guys that because I thought it was cool that Emmitt Smith was here. I don't know how often he's in free agency, but I don't know why the Cowboys didn't re-sign him. Maybe they just don't cap him. We do get George Kuntz though. So with me getting George Kuntz, I'm going to move Bruce Smith back down to left end and hope that he produces more there. I thought that having him come off the edge would be better. I guess not in simulation. I don't know these playbooks. Again, they simulate different than the normal Madden 25 playbooks. So I think Carl Reeves is just going to be a backup right now behind Bruce Smith. He had an okay rookie season, but I need Bruce Smith to get some sacks before he retires, probably next year. And hopefully we can win him a Super Bowl, because we are running out of time to win our core of Bruce Smith, Andre Reed, and Jim Kelly a Super Bowl, because they are aging. Jim Kelly is 36, Andre Reed is 32, Bruce Smith is 33. All right, we are in the 1996 draft. I'm not going to trade up into the top 5 just because I don't have that type of ammunition. I'd love to get Marvin Harrison, but I just don't think that's in my future. Okay, so this is huge. I'm trading our starting left guard, who has 1 year left on his deal, and pick 20 for pick 8. Or I guess pick 9. And we're going to see who falls to us. Marvin Harrison goes pick 7. That kind of hurts. And Keyshawn Johnson goes pick number 2. And I could take Jonathan Ogden or Willie Anderson here, but I think I take Ray Lewis now. I'll come back to you guys again when I have a trade made, since the Cardinals took who I wanted to take. I just realized I forgot to talk and like show you guys the other trade. I'll still show it, but I'm just not going to be talking during it, so it might be a little awkward. I'm sorry about that. But I'm just trading for 2 middle linebackers just for some depth. I'm not going to draft Ray Lewis, but I am going to trade my pick. So with my next trade, I'm trading away the 8th pick to the Broncos for pick 29, a first-round pick in 1998, which should help us. Hopefully John Elway is retired by then, and a 4th-round pick next year. Okay, Ray Lewis goes 19 to the Vikings. Keyshawn Johnson, we already said he went number 2. Marvin Johnson went number 7 to the Cardinals. Jonathan Ogden goes number 10 to the Chicago Bears. The Broncos traded up to get a wide receiver, Eric Mullins, I guess. This is going to be their A.J. Brown trade for Treylon Burks. But I'm just trying to go over the notable picks. Mike Allstott to the Giants at 17. But here at 30, as Eddie George goes 26 to the Bengals. Here at 30, we need the position. And he's the best player at the position. I don't care about the projection. I don't care about the player over him. Brian Dawkins out of Clemson, 6 foot 210. Elite acceleration, great agility, elite change of direction, elite jumping, great speed, elite strength, A hit power, B man, probably B zone, just a demon. And he's gonna be our 1st-round pick of the 1996 NFL Draft. The old Bill jerseys are just like so much better, man. I just can't get over it. But obviously sick as hell. 92 speed, 95 acceleration, probably has like 90 hit power. Just a great value pick. And now I'm probably going to trade my starting free safety, but I might just keep him as a backup. I really need corner though. My next trade is a big one. I'm trading away my 2nd-round pick at the start of the 2nd round, pick 36, pick 50, pick 90, and the 4th-round pick next year I just got from the Broncos, and my backup wide receiver for Rod Woodson. He is 31, but he is a 92 overall corner and a big upgrade to this defense that has been giving up so many yards in the passing game. We are hoping to stop that with this pickup. Okay, so my next trade is trading away my old starting free safety who we replaced with Brian Dawkins and my third string corner Jeff Burris for Darian Gordon from the Chargers. And hopefully with this now revamped secondary, we can win a Super Bowl. And I've been stuck in between on what I should do with my pick, if I should take this Purcell Gaskins dude out of Kansas State. But I think I'm going to take John Runyon. He's in like 20 picks of our range. Like, I'm not reaching all the way down to the bottom of the board to get someone I know is going to be a superstar development trait. I don't know any of the dev traits in the draft classes, but I really need offensive line, and considering his career, I think he's going to be pretty good. So with my third round pick, I'm taking John Runyon, and I think he's going to start at right tackle for us immediately. So with my next pick in the fourth round, I'm taking Casey Weigman out of Iowa. I don't know who he is, and I just need a backup center. So I just chose the dude that had a bunch of B's and A's, and I'm hoping that he's just okay enough to be a backup center. He's ranked 93 in the class, average pick. Hidden dev though, which is huge. Gonna be a good backup center and eventually a starter, probably when our starting center either leaves or retires. 1996 draft recap. We don't really have that big of a class, but we made some trades and I feel really upgraded our team for this upcoming year. Brian Dawkins, big addition to the team. Obviously 94 hit power, 92 speed, 82 zone coverage. He's really great at everything, and he's already the number 6 ranked free safety in his rookie season. So I'll show you guys the top 5 players of the class like I usually do. Mike Allstott is the number 1 player in the class. I don't really know how often he's going to see the field or what stats he's going to get at fullback, but it's cool. Nonetheless, Mike Allstott is one of the sickest players of all time. Ray Lewis, second highest rated player in the class. 90 speed, 90 hit power. Obviously a beast. I wanted him, but I felt like I can get better linebackers later down the road in this rebuild, and I don't really think linebacker is too important in simulation for your defense. Marvin Harrison, the Cardinals stole him from us, but it all worked out because we got Brian Dawkins, though I think we could have ended up with Marvin Harrison and Brian Dawkins, which would have been nasty. And to round out the top 5, Jonathan Ogden, an 80 overall, 96 strength, basically 80s at every blocking stat. Okay, to start the 1996 season, I am making one more trade. It's our starting right tackle, who we just drafted, John Runyon, to replace our backup left tackle and our backup middle linebacker, who's 28 and only going to regress. A 4th round pick this year, projected pick 127. A 6th round pick this year, projected 185. And a 4th round pick next year for Kevin Mawe, I think is his name. An 88 overall left guard with superstar X Factor dev trait. X Factor doesn't really mean much for linemen, but they still progress faster. So we'll take what we can get. And this is what the team is looking like to start the next season. We did get some dev downs. Terrell Davis went down to star dev. Andre Reed has gone down to star dev. I think that happened a couple seasons ago. And Warren Sapp, Bruce Smith, both down to star dev. Darren Gordon, when I traded for him, he had 6 upgrades, so he's up to an 87 from the 83 overall that we traded for him for. And hopefully Warren Sapp can go back up in dev. These linebackers that I traded for, I know that they're low overall and that Ray Lewis is one of the best linebackers of all time, but I feel like we came out of the draft getting great players at positions of need that if I drafted Ray Lewis that high, I wouldn't have been able to get. So I'm happy with the way that our team looks, and these middle linebackers are young and have good speed for the era. 86 speed is like a 92 speed in this era, and they have good change of direction, so they'll be good users, and as long as they can develop, we'll be okay. But now I will see you guys at the midseason. Okay, so we are 3-3 at the midseason. Our defense is letting up 25 points per game, which is 27th in the NFL. Not good stuff. Let's look at for upcoming free agents. And we have a few, but we also have cap room. John Lynch, we need to re-sign him. He's going to be expensive, which sucks. And he plays safety, which also sucks that he's expensive, but he takes an okay deal for his overall. I'm going to wait to re-sign Rod Woodson until he regresses. Darren Gordon, we just traded for him, but he does not want to play here. That might be a franchise tag candidate. Glenn Parker, 30 years old at center. He doesn't want that much money though. I'm fine with giving him a 2-year deal. I'll up the money a little bit and he resigns. The rest of these players though, apart from Bruce Smith, I don't really want to bring back. Oh yeah, I signed Jim Late. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, out of free agency because he was only left tackle with a mentor tag. John Runyon has Superstar X Factor, by the way. But my tackles are playing down with morale, which is not good. Usually that means they're not having a good season. But I'm just going to hope that we pull through it. Terrell Davis is also playing down, which is not great. I mean, he's still a monster, though. Just don't run the ball a lot. Jim Kelly is continuing to regress. I also traded for Rob Johnson just to be a backup until Jim Kelly retires in case, I don't know, I can't find another plan at quarterback. Okay, so this is the stats of the midseason. Jim Kelly is leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns. Only 6 interceptions. Still would like less interceptions. Terrell Davis is not having a good year. 3.1 yards per carry. Andre Reed, 546 yards, 3 touchdowns at the midseason. Yeah, as expected, Scott Gregg has led up 6 sacks in 5 games, and John Runyon has led up 5 sacks in 6 games. That is not good, if you didn't know. Our linebackers that we traded for, though, despite the low overall, are playing good. So as expected, overall, doesn't really matter that much for middle linebackers in simulation. Rod Woodson leads the league, leads our team in interceptions with 2. We are not getting that many takeaways. John Lynch also has 1, and so does Jason Sehorn, the exciting whites. So, I really don't know what to do with our team. I don't think I'm going to make any trades because I don't know who, or what we could trade to get better. So I think I'll see you guys either at the playoffs or the midseason, depending on what happens. Since we're at this screen, you know what it means. Surprisingly, we went on a pretty good win streak to end the season. our linebackers developed. Preston Harrison got like 6 upgrades, and so did John Runyon. He had like a bunch of upgrades too. But I'll show you the schedule to show you that I didn't force any wins. No funny business going on. No forced wins except in the bye weeks, of course. We went on a pretty good win streak after the bye week, after losing 3-7 to the Jets and 7-19 to the Redskins. We won 6 games out of our last 7. Only losing to the Chiefs with Joe Montana, I think, still. He's probably going to retire after this season. But I'll show you the stats around the league. Jim Kelly leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns with the 9th passer rating, 3rd offense, and the 22nd defense, despite the upgrades made at the draft last season. So I'm starting to wonder if it might just be the playbook. Terrell Davis does not have that great of a season, but we're not really running the ball. Andre Reed, pretty good season. If we look at receiving nationally, he almost led the league in receiving yards, only 3 yards off. He had the highest average yards per game though, and 1 touchdown off of leading the league in touchdowns. Alvin Harper leads the league in receptions with 98. The Cowboys are the Cowboys regardless of what you play in Madden. Rod Smith, almost 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Andre Rison, almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Kind of overwhelming, but I take it we are kind of force feeding the ball to Andre Reed. Terrell Davis, 50 receptions for 573 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's been pretty good receiving, like out of the backfield. Scott Gregg, bad year, 11 sacks allowed and 900 downs. John Runyon, also a pretty bad year from the right tackle position, 8 sacks and 800 downs. Glenn Parker doesn't really have that great of a season either. I'm probably not going to re-sign him. Apart from that, though, Kevin Maui was pretty good, and Joe Sims was okay. Defensively, Preston Harrison leads the team in tackles. Bruce Smith leads the team in TFLs with 20. 14 for Phil Hansen, 11 for Cornelius Bennett, 9 for Warren Sapp, 7 for Preston Harrison and Jason Sehorn, and more TFLs for a handful of players. Sacks, Bruce Smith led the team in sacks with 13. Now that I moved him back to left end, he's getting in the backfield more. I probably should have kept him there to begin with. Cornelius Bennett gets 10 sacks from the outside linebacker position and 11 TFLs. Phil Hansen, 8.5 sacks, 6 for Warren Sapp, who's been kind of underwhelming so far. Phil Hansen has been playing arguably better, but he does play the nose tackle position, though you would expect more TFOs from that position, and he has had neither. Carl Reeves, 4 sacks, 3 sacks for George Kuntz, who we brought in from free agency, which is pretty underwhelming, but I mean, when the rest of the team is getting in the backfield like they are, it is kind of hard to spread these sacks around. So I will give these players the benefit of the doubt, and a few players have 1.5 sacks. Jason Sehorn leads the team in interceptions with 3, tied with Rod Woodson. 2 for Troy Dumas, 2 for John Lynch as well, and 1 for Preston Harrison. So despite having a bad defense yards-wise, the stats are okay. Which is weird. I mean, not a lot of picks. Leroy Butler leads the league in picks with 7. James Hasty is right behind him, tied. Bobby Taylor with 6. Ray Lewis with 5, making me regret my decision, maybe. But, I mean, Preston Harrison had a good year, 100 tackles and the 7 TFLs and whatnot. Leading the league in tackles is Zach Thomas And Eric Austin tied Reggie Tung right behind them with 124. Leading the league in TFLs is Reggie White with 24. Leading the league in sacks is John Randall with 23. And Willie McGinnis has 15. Bruce Smith was top 5 though. So we'll look at the awards. Brett Favre is your MVP. Jim Kelly snub, maybe. I think maybe the interceptions is why he doesn't win that the MVP here, but a good year nonetheless. Top 3. Yeah, Brett Favre only throws 4 interceptions, which is not historically accurate whatsoever. But I digress. Coach of the year is George Seifert for the 49ers. Your AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Andre Reed and Jim Kelly at 6. Terrell Davis right behind them at 8. Defensive Player of the Year is Bernard Whittington, Bruce Smith at 3. No other players on this list. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Eddie George, and we do not have a player on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Simeon Rice. We also do not have a player on this list either. Best quarterback is John Elway, Jim Kelly, right behind him at number 2. Best running back is Emmitt Smith, who is now in our division on the Dolphins. Crazy that he leaves the Cowboys, a career Cowboy. History is already getting weird here in this rebuild in only the 3rd year. Marshall Faulk at number 2, Eddie George at number 3 as a rookie, Terrell Davis at number 4, despite not really having a good rushing season, but I think the receiving yards is carrying, which is mainly what I drafted him for. He is a pretty good receiving back. Best wide receiver, Andre Reed. We do not have another player on this list. Best O-lineman, Leon Searcy from the Steelers. Kevin Mawe, who we traded for at the beginning of the season, is number 8. Best D-lineman, Bernard Whittington at number 1. Bruce Smith at number 3. And Phil Hansen all the way down at number 9 makes the list. Best linebacker, Willie McGinnis. And we have Cornelius Bennett at number 5. Surprisingly, Derek Thomas is all the way down at number 4. Best defensive back, James Hasty, unsurprisingly, after getting 7 picks, wins. Jason Sehorn is all the way down here at number 10. No Rod Woodson. Some non-real players making these lists. There's nothing I can really do about these players. I don't know what to do with them. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But these expansion teams that aren't in the league yet, when they get added to the league or when they cut these players that are on their teams are filled with non-real players because they weren't in the league yet and they didn't have any players. So they eventually end up getting cut, and somehow their overall gets upgraded enough because of the age that they were, and because they were on that team, that they end up getting signed in free agency to these other teams. Anyways, Yap session over. That's why you see these player names that are like kicker number 1 or O lineman or safety 27. As we go through and more of these drafts get completed, you'll see less and less of them, hopefully. Wild card game, we played the Miami Dolphins. Again, it's a wild card game, so I'm not going to jump in. Hopefully this is not a repeat of last year. Hopefully we win in the wild card this year. Heartbreak in the city of Buffalo, New York, as we lose yet again. In your 1996 Super Bowl, the Giants beat the Broncos in a real snooze fest, 9-7. Your Super Bowl MVP is Philippi Sparks. Sorry for the pronunciation. It's terrible. I'm frustrated that we cannot seem to make a Super Bowl despite the teams and the rosters that I put together. We'll look at retirements, specifically the Bills. Do we have any important ones? Jim Kelly and Bruce Smith are still here. They do not retire. Jerry Rice is gone, though, retires way earlier than real life. So he does not go to play for the Seahawks. Re-signings. I'm not going to extend the 5th year on Kevin Maui because I don't know if 5th year options were a thing at the time, but I'd rather just re-sign him anyways. Darren Gordon, I'm going to franchise tag. Rod Woodson, I'm going to offer him a very player-friendly 1-year deal. And now I'm going to be stuck. Hopefully I can get Darren Gordon back and maybe franchise tag Rod Woodson. I get back Darren Gordon, though, on a very expensive contract. It hurts to pay that out, but sometimes you get stuck in these positions in franchise mode where you don't want to lose your players, and you got to do what you got to do. I traded away a lot for Rod Woodson, and I'm not trying to lose him for nothing. Bruce Smith, I'm going to offer him a 1-year deal. He comes back to play another season for the Bills. We need to get him a ring. Jim Kelly is down to a 75 overall. He's 37 years old. And I'd free 30 mil by cutting him. There aren't really that many good quarterbacks in free agency, so I'm going to keep him on the team for this season. Barring any, I don't know. I don't really want to trade him. I want to win him a ring. But he's 37 and down to a 75. I don't know how good he's going to be able to be continuing this rebuild. Also, free agency doesn't really look that good. I don't think I'm going to sign anyone. Our players are regressing. Our window is closing. We need to find replacements. Even though this is a good draft class, I think I'm going to trade back and try to get picks next year. Because next year is one of the greatest draft classes of all time. I'm going to make this trade with the Seahawks. I'm going to trade out of this draft, or out of the first round at least, and pick up 2 firsts and then coming 2 years. Jason Taylor goes 1 pick ahead of me to the Patriots. I mean, that's crazy. Just everybody who I was thinking about maybe taking in the 2nd round is just off the board. Corey Dillon, Rondé Barber, and Jason Taylor all go. That is incredibly unlucky. I now don't know who I want to take, and I don't really want to keep trading down, but I think that just might be the best thing to do, so I'll come back to you guys when I have a trade. So I'm trading to the end of the 2nd round and getting a pick at the end of the 3rd round, and also a 6th round pick in 1999 from the Bears. At the end of the 2nd round, I'm going to be drafting Derek Mason. He's just the best player available in my opinion. I don't know who else to take. So pick 30, end of the 2nd round, Derek Mason. Welcome to the team. He's ranked 27 in the class, and I drafted him at 62. 94 speed, 93 excel, 89 change of direction. That is going to be terrific in this era where the cornerbacks are slow as shit. Pick 14 in the 3rd round. I'm taking Twan Russell. I just need depth, and he plays a position of need. So that is who my pick is going to be. Ranked 38 in the class. I drafted him at 78. With my next pick in the 3rd round, I'm taking Deuce Staley. Again, I just need depth, and he'll be a good backup, good power back. You know, in case anything happens to Terrell Davis, he can come in and play. 45 true value, drafted him at 92. Slippery juke move. He has 90 speed, 92 excel, and hidden development trait, 82 strength. With my first pick in the 4th round, I'm taking Eric Stokes, the original one. I just need depth. Sorry, not the 4th round, the 5th round. I don't know why I keep saying the 4th round. But yeah, anyways, I'm taking Eric Stokes. Ranked 111 entry value. I took him at 137. Normal dev, but it's a 5th round pick. With my next and last pick that I'm going to show, I'm going to take Sam Garnes out of Cincinnati. Ranked 104 in the class, took him at 138. 1997 draft has concluded. We traded away our first round pick to get some more ammunition in the 1998 draft class, which is headlined by names like Peyton Manning and Randy Moss. But we take Derek Mason in the second round, pick 31, good value, good speedster out of Michigan State. We take Twan Russell, 74 overall. I feel like we got really good value for our picks that we did end up taking. The top 5 players in the class are number 1, Warwick Dunn. He goes to Chicago. Orlando Pace, tied for the top player in the class with Warwick Dunn. He goes number 1 overall to the Cleveland Browns. Sam Madison goes all the way in the second round, I think, to the Bengals. 94 speed, 93 excel, 80 coverage, 83 press. A good player. Darren Sharper goes in the second round to the Redskins, formerly a Cowboys player, or maybe I should say the Commanders, but they're the Redskins here. So, yeah. Darren Sharper on the Redskins, 92 speed, 86 hit power. His head's a little small, but he is a beast of a player. Going to be pretty good for the Redskins as we go through this rebuild. The Bengals also get Tony Gonzalez. So, in their draft class, they get 2 top 5 players. I'd say the Bengals are pretty happy with their haul in the 1997 draft. Tony Gonzalez is just a demon. Pretty much him and Shannon Sharp are the first 2 modern day tight ends that we saw in the NFL. I just want to show some other notable players from this class. Tiki Barber, he's on the Saints in this universe, 92 speed. Jason Taylor, who the Patriots stole from me, 77 speed, 77 overall, 87 speed, 89 excel. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that, Jason Taylor. 84 finesse, 77 power moves. I'm extremely salty that he got sniped from me, 1 pick ahead of me, but sometimes that's just how it is when you click send to next user pick. And I think the last player I'm going to show here is Corey Dillon, another player that I wanted. He goes to the Colts here, 92 speed, 94 excel, 78 strength, 84 trucking, 84 stiff arm, 88 change of direction, 82 break tackle, 84 juke move. Going to be a beast. All right, start of the 1997 season. This is what the team is looking like. Jim Kelly is all the way down to a 75 overall. This is probably his last year. Hopefully we can win him a ring. If not, I'm not going to say it's a failure because we still have more years to go in this rebuild, but I really wanted to win Jim Kelly and Bruce Smith a ring, and they're probably both going to retire this year. So I will see you guys at the midseason. I'm not going to do anything. I think our team right now is as good as it can be with the players it has, because I don't want to trade away certain players. Also, I just wanted to show, I signed Mark Bavaro. I guess he has a face scan. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was cool. All right, we are at the midseason, and I messed up. I forgot to insert the schedule from 1997, so we're going to have 18 games played, but I'll just count the game against the Houston Texans as a bye week game. We are 6-1 at the midseason. We'll look at the schedule for our team as we lost our bye week game. I think that is, we are the first team to ever lose in the bye week. That is a development, a pretty hilarious one at that. I don't want the Texans to win any more games because I don't want them to be in the playoffs. So I'm going to force them to lose the rest of their games. 2 teams have lost their bye week games, which is hilarious. Anyways, on to negotiations. Kevin Mawe, he's going to want a pretty penny. I don't like paying Lyman, but he's going to be pretty good for us. So So I think we just pay him. He resigns. Jason Sehorn. I want to bring him back. He resigns. Rod Smith. He wants way too much money, more than I'm willing to pay him right now. We'll see about in the offseason. We're losing both of our starting edge rushers to free agency, and Bruce Smith might retire. This is going to be our last season with this core. After this season, our window has closed and we're going to need to build a new team. I'm done with negotiations for right now. I'll see you guys in the playoffs if we make them. We go 13-3 technically, because the Texans game doesn't count, which probably would have been good to get into the divisional playoffs had I transferred the schedule. Alas, we are in the wild card playing the 10-7 Chargers. The wild card has been the bane of my existence throughout this rebuild, and we'll see if that continues to ring true. First though, we will look at the stats for the season. Jim Kelly, who has had an amazing career this rebuild, has another good season. Terrell Davis, another underwhelming rushing season, despite being a high overall and continuing to get upgraded. Andre Reed leads the team receiving yards, with 1,182 and 19 touchdowns. Andre Rison right behind him with 1,120. He actually leads the team interceptions with 97, 89 for Andre Reed. 9 touchdowns for Andre Rison, almost 800 yards for Rod Smith, 73 receptions and 7 touchdowns. Terrell Davis continuing to be a threat out of the backfield with 64 receptions and 700 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Kent Dilger, 74 receptions, 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. Blocking, Scott Gregg has been kind of terrible, honestly. I might need to find a replacement for him, because even though he is an okay overall, he is letting up a lot of sacks. Other than that, though, blocking has been pretty good. John Runyon finally kicked things into gear, only 4 sacks allowed. He's playing like the all-pro player he is. Kevin Malway, I would like to see less sacks, though, honestly, playing the left guard position, and considering I just paid him. Preston Harrison leads the team in tackles with 99, 13.5 sacks from Warren Sapp. Finally, I see something from him. I drafted him at the start of this rebuild, and he hasn't really done much, to be honest. But now, 13.5 sacks, 13 TFLs, 13 sacks from Phil Hansen, and 12 sacks from Bruce Smith. We are getting into the backfield like crazy. 25 TFLs from Bruce Smith as well. 4 picks from Rod Woodson, 3 from Darian Gordon and John Lynch, 2 from Brian Dawkins, 1 from Troy Dumas, and 1 from Jason Sehorn. So, we're going to simulate this wildcard game. If we lose this one, I might start jumping into them, but for right now, I'm simulating it. Can we beat the Chargers? We lose yet again. Your 1997 Super Bowl champions, are you surprised? Even without Jerry Rice, are the 49ers, the Patriots, somehow make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Steve Young is your Super Bowl MVP. Your NFL MVP is Brett Favre, Coach of the Year, Wade Phillips from the Broncos. Offensive Player of the Year, Emmitt Smith on the Dolphins, Simeon Rice, Defensive Player of the Year, Tiki Barber, Offensive Player of the Year on the Saints, and your Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, is Omar Stoudemire on the Chargers. This has been one of the more frustrating rebuilds, to say the least. We will see if we have any retirements on the season. We don't. Jim Kelly is still here, still kicking, still playing football. He has the Tom Brady genes, and so is Bruce Smith, though I don't know if I can continue to play Jim Kelly. I'm losing Rod Woodson to free agency. Everyone else I really don't want to pay or sign because they're aging and just going to regress. Jim Kelly, sorry, I just can't re-sign you. 73 years old, 38 years old. 73 overall, 38 years old. I think it's over for Jim Kelly on the Bills. In free agency, Marshall Faulk is the top free agent. He's not interested. I'm not going to be able to get him. All these running backs, though, teams are not paying running backs, surprisingly. So this is who I'm going after in free agency. George Hegeman to replace Scott Gragg because he's been horrible. Rod Woodson, I'm going to try to re-sign him. Ken Harvey to play 1 year and be a Band-Aid. The same with Greg Lloyd. And then I'm looking to bring in John Bach, just re-sign him and just have someone to play the right guard position because every other right guard is asking for a crazy amount of money and he's only a few overalls under them and he's asking for like half the amount, even less. So see who we get. I get nobody that I offered. That's incredibly unlucky considering I was the first deal on like all of those players, and I don't think I'm going to get either edge rusher that I offered either. I don't get the first one. I'm pivoting now because I didn't get the players that I offered. I'm offering Seth Joyner and Kevin Gogan. Hopefully I can get them to sign. Greg Lloyd and Kevin Gogan signed. Seth Joyner is playing the long game. I'm going to have to offer him a bigger deal. Seth Joyner ends up signing with the Cincinnati Bengals because I apparently can't have anything go my way in this rebuild. I know that I just signed him to a 3-year deal, but I'm going to trade him for Enos Williams and 2 second-round picks from the Cardinals because not that his contract is so expensive, but I'd rather just take the cap penalty associated with trading him, pay it for the season where I have a rookie quarterback, and I'm going to have these new rookie players, and draft a cornerback who has a higher ceiling than a 90 overall at 27. Okay, my first trade of the 1998 draft. I'm trading all 3 of my draft picks for the number 1 pick in the draft. I know it's an interdivisional trade. I know it's for a quarterback, but I cannot let Peyton Manning go to the Jets when I need a quarterback. And so, with the first pick of the 1998 NFL draft, instead of the Indianapolis Colts, it's now the Buffalo Bills taking the 6'5", 230-pound, 22-year-old out of Tennessee with elite throw power, the Sheriff, Peyton Manning. He's ranked number 3 in the class. I took him at 1. One of the best quarterbacks of all time is now on our team. 57 speed, jeez. And with the second pick in the NFL draft, the Texans, who shouldn't be in the league yet, I'm going to fix this. They take Grant Wistrom. And so the Raiders are on the board, but I'm going to try and make a trade with them for this pick. I will be back. It's just not going to happen. Since this is technically the 2nd overall pick, it just holds too much value. And they take Ryan Leaf, who I was never considering taking with that pick. I guess I'm going to try to make a trade with the Lions now. Again, they just want too much, and I don't really feel like it's worth it to trade that much. So I'm going to let them take their pick here. And they take Andre Wadsworth. I think I'm going to just let the Colts pick too. And they take Randy Moss out of... I forget where he went to college, actually. But, yeah, they take Randy Moss, the Colts, too. I'm going to try to trade with the Jaguars. Hopefully, I can finally get this trade to go through. I'll come back to you guys when it happens, if it does. So, the Trade package is going to be 2 second-round picks this year, pick 51 and pick 46, I think, and a first-round pick in 2000 and a 6th-round pick this year for pick number 5, technically, even though it says number 6. And with pick number 5, I'm taking Charles Woodson out of Michigan. We need corner. He's going to be our number 1 corner for the rest of this draft. Charles Woodson, number 2 in the class, true value, probably only behind Randy Moss. 92 speed, 96 excel, 96 agility, 94 change of direction, just a beast. With my pick in the 3rd round, I'm taking Michael Myers, not the one from the Halloween movie, but the defensive tackle out of Alabama, 300 pounds. He is ranked 128 in the class, normal depth. It's okay, I just need depth, and he serves that purpose. With my next pick in the 4th round, I'm taking Jerry Jensen, a speed rusher who's undersized and not very fast. Again, I just need depth. He's going to suck, but he's going to be able to play that backup position for me. All right, draft recap. Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson are basically the only players that I wanted from this draft, and we got them. I mean, Randy Moss is sick, but I want to hold him off and get him in another rebuild. Hopefully, if we do more of these, then, you know, I'll get Randy Moss eventually. But yeah, so Charles Woodson and Peyton Manning, we get 2 of the top 5 players in the class. Randy Moss goes to the Colts, wearing number 89. Alan Faneca is a top 5 player in the class, goes to the Jets. Going to be a pretty good guard for them throughout this rebuild. And rounding out the top 5 is Dwayne Starks, a cornerback out of Miami, already 24, but good coverage nonetheless. Okay, to start off the year, I'm doing another interdivisional trade, I know, but I'm giving them a 1st-round pick for someone that they drafted in the 2nd round last year. Jason Taylor, they sniped him in front of me. He's now going to be on my team playing outside linebacker for me. A big pickup and a big addition to this defense for the rest of this rebuild, hopefully. Also, I'm just now realizing, like, he played on the Dolphins. The Patriots drafted him in this, and now I just traded for him, and I'm using the Bills. Like, he's just making the rounds of this division. This is what the Buffalo Bills are looking like to start the 1998 season. Peyton Manning at quarterback, rookie. Hopefully can bring us to the playoffs in his rookie season. The offensive around him is pretty good. Some of our players are regressing. We need to get some wide receivers maybe in this upcoming draft class, but the offense is good enough for him to have success. Defensively, I feel we made some upgrades again. We got Jason Taylor. Warren Sapp is developing, but our players are going to retire shortly. Charles Woodson is going to be quarterback 1 for the rest of this rebuild. Our secondary is basically complete, except for when Aeneas Williams retires. With that being said, I will see you guys at the midseason. Alright, we are 4-2 at the midseason. We'll go into negotiations. 137 mil. We gotta bring back Warren Sapp for sure. Warren Sapp is back. Terrell Davis. I don't know how I feel about paying a running back right now. Scott Gregg, depending on how he does this season, I'll resign him. Aeneas Williams is going to get re-signed, but I'm going to wait for him to regress. Honestly, Terrell Davis, for his overall, doesn't really want that much money. So I'm willing to pay him 10 mil a year. But he's going to stiff me on this contract negotiation. So I will see you guys next, hopefully in the playoffs, and hopefully not in the wild card. Terrell Davis is back on a 4-year, $14 million a year deal. Jaguars, because their division is terrible. If we lose in the wild card to the 6-10 Jaguars, crash out incoming. But we will look at the season stats. Peyton Manning leads the league in passing yards, 5th in passing touchdowns. Needs to clean up the picks, but it is Peyton Manning. so you expect him to throw some interceptions. Terrell Davis, we're not running the ball again, but okay, average, I guess. 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Maybe I shouldn't have paid him all that money to not really run the ball, but he is good receiving in the backfield. He has been throughout this whole rebuild, and I don't really want to lose that weapon because I feel it is pretty viable in this playbook at least. Andre Rison leads our team with receptions and receiving yards. 102 receptions, 1,211 yards, 16 touchdowns. Rod Smith right behind him, 84 receptions, almost 1,000 yards to 989, 4 touchdowns. Andre Reed, 79 receptions, 916 yards, 7 touchdowns. Probably retiring soon, slowing down most definitely. Sacks, Scott Gregg, horrible. I need to find a replacement for him ASAP. Sadly, we weren't able to get that replacement for him in free agency last year because they chose a different team. Breaks my heart, but eventually we will get him off of this team. Other than that, though, the sacks are okay. Glenn Parker lets up 8 sacks, though, which is kind of terrible as a center. Tackles, Troy Dumas leads the team in tackles with 89. Jason Sehorn right behind him. Not really good. You don't want your slot corner to have all those tackles usually. That means they are moving the ball quite easily on your defense. Phil Hansen leads the team in TFLs with 16, Warren Sapp with 11 behind him, Bruce Smith with 7, 5 for Preston Harrison, a handful of players with 4, including Jason Taylor, and a handful of players with 3, including Brian Dawkins. Sacks, Bruce Smith leads the team with 8.5. We are not really getting any pressure this year. Greg Lloyd with 5, Jason Taylor with 5, Warren Sapp with 4, Twan Russell with 3.5, 3 for Phil Hansen, and 1 for Jason Sehorn, Carl Reeves, and a handful of players with 5. Preston Harrison and Charles Woodson lead the team in interceptions with 2 for only the both of them. 1 interception for John Lynch, Enos Williams, and Brian Dawkins. Team stats wise, we had the 3rd best offense and the 12th defense in the NFL. I feel no matter how good we build this defense, that teams are just moving the ball pretty easily. Hopefully we can beat the 6-10 Jaguars. It would be a catastrophic loss if we lose to them here. We win 42-32. Somehow they put up all those numbers on us, but finally we have a chance to hop into a game for the first time since like the first season. It's been like 5 seasons since I've had any gameplay, and my last gameplay was not the greatest. So we will hop into this game, play the moments. You guys know the rules. I get 1 opportunity to hop in and play this game. Let's get it. Game starts off 0-0. We had the ball first, but they gave it up to the Steelers. The Steelers now give us the ball back. We throw a 1-play touchdown and 7-zip now. We are driving down the field again. 14-zip Buffalo Bills. The Steelers can't get a score. We're driving down the field. Peyton Manning throws a pick. They get the ball back and still can't get a score. Turnover on downs. And I don't know what happened. We turned the ball over. They get a score. 14-7. Steelers are driving down the ball at the end. Driving down the field at the end of the 4th quarter. They're going for it on 4th down. They really need this score. They're going for it here. Our defense cannot hold up. We're driving down now at the end of the game. Red zone alert. Can Peyton Manning get us a touchdown? He does. Game is on the line here. Can our defense hold up against the Steelers? They're going for it on 4th down. 30 seconds left in the quarter. 4th and 14. We're going to hop in here. Cover 6 is what I'm going to call. We're going to pass commit and just hope that we don't give up anything stupid here as we try to advance on to the divisional round, as the Steelers still have O'Donnell playing quarterback. They're going to launch it up here. Charles Woodson almost got the pick. That will be the end of the game as they turn the ball over again on downs, 21-14. We are hopefully going to win this game. It's been a minute since we heard this song. After countless wildcard exits, Peyton Manning takes us to the playoffs and brings us all the way to the AFC Championship game in his rookie season. 3 touchdowns and 346 yards on 76 completion percentage for Peyton Manning, only 1 pick. And the AFC Championship We are playing the 16-0 Patriots. I waited to show you guys this because I was hoping they would make the AFC Championship, and they did. I don't know how. They just went 16-0. This defense is cracked, apparently, and we have to find a way to win against this team. Eli Manning did it. Can Peyton Manning take down the undefeated Patriots? As we hop into the game against the Patriots, they get the ball first. We're driving down the field, though, as they turn it over on downs. It's 7-7, though, after we score, and they score. 14-7 Patriots, though we're driving down the field again. 14-14 all. We get the ball at the end of the second quarter. We're driving down the field. We make it 21-14. The Patriots get the ball to start the second half. 21-21. We don't do anything after getting the ball back. They don't do anything. We don't do anything. And now they're driving down the field at the end of the fourth quarter. 21-24. We're driving down the field now. Can we get a touchdown to win the game? We get the touchdown. And now we have to get a stop on defense, which we have not been able to do this whole video for some reason, despite all of the talent on this defense. An inaccurate pass from Drew Bledsoe is what I like to see, but Charles Woodson, you need to play better coverage there. That's it. He has nowhere to pass it. Drew Bledsoe is going to take the sack. 3rd and 23. That is huge. They have to pass the ball now. I'm pass committing. And just don't give up anything huge here in the fourth. And we get the pick, Charles Woodson. Can he bring it back for the pick six? He can't. He goes down at the 1, but that will seal the game. And the Buffalo Bills in Peyton Manning's rookie year will go to the Super Bowl after losing in the wild card for what feels like 4 straight seasons. I mean, just perfect coverage there from Charles Woodson on that post route. He had nowhere to go, trying to throw it to the tight end, who's probably like 30 speed slower than Charles Woodson. And we get another score. Drew Bledsoe throws a pick to Brian Dawkins. Now it's just all going bad. We end the game. GG Patriots. But your undefeated season will not reign true in this universe, at least not yet. Maybe if you get Tom Brady, maybe then, but for right now, as that coach looks kind of scary. In the 1998 season Super Bowl in 1999, we are playing the Dallas Cowboys, taking on their dynasty, but without without Emmitt Smith. They still have Darren Woodson, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. All right, hopping into the game against the Cowboys as we try to win a Super Bowl in Peyton Manning's rookie season. Can we rewrite history with the Buffalo Bills in 1998? 14-10 Buffalo as the Cowboys score again, but we're driving down the field to end the second quarter. We score another touchdown, 21-10 Buffalo Bills. We're driving down the field now in the third quarter. We're going to put more points on the board as this game is seemingly out of reach for the Cowboys. 35-13. It's now a blowout. It's all bad for the Cowboys. They're not going to win. I'm going to take control here and just try to bleed out this clock at the end of the game. Gonna put shoe clock on and just run the ball here with Terrell Davis. I'm gonna flip it to the other side. I like that look better because Darren Woodson is not coming down in the box, and we get the first down. That was probably the hardest 1 yard for Terrell Davis to get ever in his career, as we're on our way to the Lombardi Trophy in Peyton Manning's rookie season. After all the trials and tribulations with trying to get Jim Kelly a Super Bowl, we win it with Peyton Manning in his rookie season. Bruce Smith and Andre Reed get their ring, but sadly Jim Kelly cannot get his. It's now 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes left. Trying to bleed the clock here. And I think we're just going to sim to the end of this game as we win the Super Bowl in 1998 against the Cowboys. Troy Aikman, you don't get a ring. John Lynch saying, put that ring on my finger, as we're throwing the Gatorade here. But finally, we win a Super Bowl, trying to build this dynasty. I mean, we have 5 years left now. How many more Super Bowls can we win from here on out? Hopefully 5 more. But Peyton Manning becomes the first ever quarterback to win a Super Bowl in his rookie season, making history here in the 1998 season. Here are the stats from the game, just in case you're curious. Peyton Manning, 24 for 33, 244 yards, 72% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. Troy Aikman put up a stinker, 17 for 23, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Terrell Davis, 96 yards on 20 attempts, though most of those yards are garbage time. He had like 17 rushes for 60 yards when he hopped in, so that's not really that good. Andre Rison, though, 8 catches for 100 yards, leads the game with the most yards. Roll Preston and Alvin Harper are behind him. 1 touchdown for Andre Rison, 2 for Rod Smith, and 1 for Roll Preston. Interceptions, 1 for Troy Dumas and 1 for the backup safety Sam Garnes from Cincinnati. 1 sack for Warren Sapp, 1 for Jason Taylor, 1 for Charles Haley, and 1 for Bruce Smith. 1 TFL for Leon Lett, Warren Sapp, Bruce Smith, and Charles Haley as well. Though I think those are just sacks, and sacks are a TFL. 2. This is going to be the end of part 1. If we get enough engagement on this video, then I'll release a part 2 within the next 3 days. But this has taken me the past 3 days to record and edit, and I just don't want to waste another 3 days for nobody to watch this video. So as long as, you know, I see at least a little bit of engagement and people actually want to see this, I'll continue doing this rebuild. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of the 10-year Buffalo Bills rebuild, and I'll catch you in the next one.